my students, this is Mr. Puckett reporting to you live here at St. Augustine, Florida. And I am standing right behind this beautiful Flagler College. Actually, little fun fact, I went to this school years ago, but we won't go into that, okay? But before we get there, I want to take you on a walk to the coolest area in the historical district of St. Augustine. And what this area is a big central park, in a sense like New York City, but it has cool little monuments and awesome fun facts. So come along with me and I'll take you there. And so again, right behind me is the Flagler College that I went to, your whole alma mater over here, that's me. So this is the beautiful side of the Flagler College. Look at it, isn't she a beaut?
The first statue we come to is for William Wing Loring. He was a hero of 4 wars, he fought under 3 flags, he was a traveler and an author. He became a resident of Florida in 1823, he volunteered in the Seminole Indian War, and many other wars.
Alright you guys, so follow me. I'm going to take you right here to the historical scenes of St. Augustine, okay? This is the heart of where the Central Park is at, except not New York City. Follow along. Alright, so this is the heart of where a lot of cool things have taken place here in the St. Augustine City. Alright, so you know, we have some friends hanging out here, you know, just walking the streets and hanging out, and we have a lot of tourists going up and down this area, but there's a lot of rich history, and I'll explain later to what it will be about. So right behind me is this cool Plaza de la Constitucion, okay? And this has a big stepping stone for the rich history that is in here, St. Augustine.
This is called the Andrew Young Crossing. At this location on June 9, 1964, Andrew Young led a march from Lincolnville to the Plaza de la Constitucion, where they met violent opposition. He was sent to St. Augustine by Martin Luther King Jr., a close friend and fellow advocate. He was sent to organize a peaceful protest for human rights. Young arrived and was beaten by a white mob that was waiting. This, historians agree, was one of the most pivotal events that eventually led to the passage of the civil rights legislation.
St. Augustine foot soldiers. Demonstrators in St. Augustine preceded Selma's celebrated marches by nearly a year. The St. Augustine Foot Soldiers Monument in downtown St. Augustine paid tribute to those who participated and demonstrated that helped lead to the passage of 1964. Around the week of March 10th is a remembrance week of a series of 3 marches in support of voting rights that took place nearly 50 years ago.
The demonstrations encouraged President Lyndon Johnson to sign the Voting Rights Act. Less than a year earlier, demonstrations in Florida helped lead John to signing the Civil Rights Act on July 2, 1964. In St. Augustine, attempts by protesters to peacefully demonstrate for civil rights were also met with threats and violence.
As time progresses, African American people have helped build St. Augustine in 1562, but this time could be thought of as not a depressing subject, rather an enlightening subject. The monument, designed by owners, includes 4 bronze busts in front of a relief sculpture. Each of these people depicted represents many others who fought for equality in St. Augustine. They include a white male college student, a black male in his 30s, a black woman in her 60s, and a black teenage girl. Slave market. On this date, in 1565, St. Augustine, Florida was founded with the first arrival of black African slaves to North America. On that date, Spaniard Don Pedro Menendez de Aviles came ashore and named a stretch of land near the inlet in honor of Augustine, a saint of Roman Catholic Church. During the 16th and 17th centuries, St. Augustine was the hub of the slave trade in Spanish colonial Florida, which continued through the early 1800s. The Spanish crown was one of the largest slaveholders. The first slaves, primarily from Africa, worked in Spanish households in town.
Confederate War Memorial. You can find this monument in La Plaza de la Constitution in St. Augustine, Florida. This war memorial was constructed around the year 1880, and the St. Augustine Monument was erected by the Ladies Memorial Association, also known as LMA, of St. Augustine, and it is to honor our dead. Our dead are those from St. Augustine who died in the Civil War. This monument, the marble plaques that were on it, were first used earlier on another monument constructed in 1872, so just a few years before. And you could have found this monument on the south side of St. George Street, right between Bridges and St. Francis Street. But this Confederate War Memorial from 1880 also apparently had a marble final, but it was destroyed by lightning in a freak rainstorm one day, and so now it is replaced with the cannonballs that we now can all see on the top of the obelisk. A little fun fact here, this monument is said to have been visited by President Ulysses S. Grant during one of his stops in St. Augustine around 1880, which is just about the year that this monument was put up.
Hello, I'm here standing right in front of Flagler College, and I'm standing with himself, Henry Flagler. He was born in January 2nd, 1830, and died and perished in May 20th of 1913. All right, so this remarkable man, he brought some amazing things to the state of Florida. He brought tourism, he brought some railroad tracks and the railroad system all the way from Jacksonville all the way down to the Key West and Keys down in downstate of Florida. But I'm standing right behind you, and this used to be the Ponce de Leon Hotel, which now transformed into Flagler College. Now with that, this building has been standing here from different hurricanes, different storms and whatnot, and it's still in perfect condition, mint condition if you don't mind me saying. So, but right across the street is actually another additional building that Henry Flagler just built, and it's called the Lightner Museum. And with this Lightner Museum, there are cool artifacts. It's a little museum that has different artifacts that they preserved through the days and what they have now. But this museum was also additionally built from Henry Flagler. And also back in the day, it used to be a hotel that held about 30 to about 40 different people per stay during the spring and winter seasons. Alrighty now, so I hope you learned some amazing facts about Henry Flagler, and what his contributions have done for the city of St. Augustine is truly remarkable, and for that, it's, you know, I'm an alma mater of Flagler College, woo-woo! So, thank you so much. Alright, you guys take care now. See you later.